Bulavinaka, and good afternoon. Here on Friday, we are just finishing off from a briefing with the Supervisor of Elections, Anna Mataiciwa. And as you know, you've been sending a lot of questions and messages in relation to the general elections and the state of preparedness of the Fijian Elections Office. Supervisor of Elections, you've just told us about your state of preparedness in terms of elections officials and registration. If you can give us the latest numbers, please.
Thank you, Vijay. So for our Fijians that have been applying for election officials recruitment, so far we have managed to recruit 13,449 Fijians that will be in our pool, ready to be deployed for the election day and the pre-poll as well.
And they're all well trained up? They're being trained in phases?
We're having our election officials training from the 15th of September, and this will run until the 22nd of November. And so this is where we will be doing training for all these election officials. It will be done in the 4 divisions. In terms of the Central and Eastern Division, we will be starting from the 15th of September, and the Western and Northern Division will start from the 22nd of September, and so it will roll out in sessions until the 22nd of November.
We are in that election cycle already legally, and the last date, of course, for the writ to be issued is Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2026. The last day for general elections, according to the legal timetable, is February 6th, 2027. How are we looking at it? It's just about 5 months and 1 week if we look at the calendar days.
That is true, Vijay. But at the same time, this election timeline is very much alive. We still have the 2013 Constitution in place. So for Fijians that might be wondering, okay, will there be an election or so forth? For the Fijian Elections Office, your family, we are preparing. Because the Constitution is there, it has stated the timelines that we have to prepare towards. The last possible read date will be on the 24th of December. And so if it's issued then it's the 6th of February. And so we are emphasizing these dates because once that it is issued, registration for voters closes, registration for political party closes. And so whilst it's open, it's an opportunity for them to come in to register. But at the same time, we are encouraging our voters not only to be registered, but the main one is to go to the poll and cast their ballot.
Let's talk about voter registration. How is that coming along?
For voter registration, we have just released our voter statistics. As at the 30th of June, we have 723,771 registered voters. So all of those that have taken advantage of our registration team that was going around nationwide, we thank them for actually participating in that process. But we are having the Your Election, Your Say outreach again in the month of October, mid-November. And so if we have missed places, we have received feedbacks that in some locations we had rushed through. Some locations we had totally missed. Some was not according to their schedule. And so we welcome feedbacks now because for the mid of September, we are locking the schedules. And so we are implementing it in October as well as mid-November. And so this also includes our our Fijians living abroad.
And for those who are watching, they already know we had put that out on Fijivillage, that there's 3 electoral bills that Parliament saw. It was tabled last Friday, and it's up for consultation. Of course, you have to take these into account as well. First of all, it's a consultation period, so it's not a law at the moment. The current law stands, the Act stand, but if there's any changes approved by Parliament, you have to take that into consideration as well. What are you doing in terms of that?
In terms of the proposed amendments that are there in the 3 electoral bills, we have perused it. We will be providing our submission to the Parliamentary Standing Committee, but a brief perusal on those electoral bills, we identify that most of it are from the stakeholders' perspective. And so when we did our press release earlier this month, the Electoral Commission and the Fijian Elections Office had mentioned that we had also put in a proposal to the government. And so those proposals were the ones that we were getting from our usual monthly briefings. We've seen that it's been reflected in the bills, but other than that, operationally, there's minimum effects to the preparation. In terms of operations for the upcoming general election, the only change that we will have to accommodate would be the postal application. But that is something that we've always been lobbying on. For the past general election, we had received complaints from our overseas and even the local voters as well that applied through postal that it was basically hard for them to apply because of the statutory declaration. And so that was something that we had recommended, and we've seen that's in the bill. And so it's just the basic of removing that stat deck requirement and now making it accessible for our voters.
So the proposal being no more statutory declaration required. You just do your personal declaration. Of course, it will be assessed, but that's the big change proposed for postal ballot voting.
Yes.
In terms of also funding of parties, that's a big change too, and spending limits of candidates and political parties, which is being proposed. If you can talk a bit more about that, because the current law says, for example, no corporate bodies should be giving any donations to the parties, and individuals can give only $10,000. What's the change that's been proposed?
Apart from being the Supervisor of Elections, I'm also the Registrar of Political Parties, so there's also a bill there. We've seen there are some recommendations in place. In terms of our position to that bill, we'll reserve it when we do our formal submissions, and then we'll be able to clarify issues from our Fijians.
There's some changes in terms of the current law where asset and liability declarations are required by candidates and their relatives, their close relatives, etc., their family members. And also right now for the bill, there's spending limits proposed for candidates up to $300,000 in the 60-day period during the campaign period and after the elections, and also it's capturing the political parties to have a spending limit of $3 million, and that after that a declaration has to be made by the party and the candidate on where they got their funding from, etc. So it'll be interesting. You are telling the people of Fiji that you are making a submission with maybe some reservations as well in the coming days?
Yes, the Electoral Commission and the Fijian Elections Office will be providing our submission to the Parliamentary Standing Committee next week. That's on Tuesday, 1st of September. And so in that submission, we'll clarify certain issues that we are for and some that we have reservation towards.
Just my final question in terms of registration of voters, updating of voter details, and also registration of parties. We know things change when the writ is issued. Your reminder to the people out there.
Yes, to our Fijians that are listening in, remember next week is September, then we just have October, November, then December. And so if you haven't registered, please do come in to register. We have our team that will be going around as well for the month of October and mid-November. If you have misplaced, damaged, or had your voter card stolen, you can always come back to have it replaced from us. It's free of charge. And most importantly, if you have changed your residential address, and it has not been reflected in your voter card, please do come in to have it updated, because we will be assigning police stations according to your residential address. And not only that, not only do we encourage you to come and register, remember, the main request from your Fijian Elections Office family to you is to come in during election day. If you're unable to, then postal or pre-poll to cast your ballot.
We have 11 political parties registered.
Yes, we
also,
do.
things change when the writ is issued.
Yes, for political parties, we have 11 registered political parties. If you want to know more of the details, please check on our website. It has the details of the political parties. Once the writ is issued, the registration for political party closes. So at this moment, we know that there are some proposed applicants on the ground collecting signatures. And so our reminder is that, once the writ is issued, the registration for political party closes. 24th of December is just around the corner. And if you are interested to have a political party on your own, or you're in the process of doing so, bring in your application as soon as possible.
It's the Supervisor of Elections and Registrar of Political Parties, Mataiciwa, will continue to update you latest on the general elections here from the Fijian Elections Office. I'm Vijay Narayan.